Welcome back, my fellow darkness devotees. Tonight we descend into the chilling embrace of abandoned chapels, those desolate places of worship left to crumble and decay. Within their decaying walls and beneath their crumbling arches linger echoes of the past, whispers of souls unable to find peace. We've unearthed three terrifying tales of ghostly figures sighted within these desolate walls. Prepare yourself if you dare, for tonight we speak of the phantom priest, the weeping nun, and the shadowy choir. Our first tale takes us deep into rural England, to St. Sybil's Chapel, a place steeped in history and mystery. Once a beacon of faith and community, St. Sybil's fell into disrepair after a series of inexplicable tragedies that left the villagers in despair. Locals whispered of a spectral priest, Father Thomas, who was often seen within the chapel walls after dark, his presence both a comfort and a terror. Father Thomas was known for his unwavering devotion to his congregation, a man of deep faith and compassion who served the community tirelessly. Then, one stormy night, Father Thomas vanished without a trace, leaving behind a community in shock and a chapel shrouded in mystery. The mystery of his disappearance led to the chapel's abandonment as fear and superstition took hold of the villagers. Yet stories persisted of a flickering light within the chapel at the witching hour, a light that seemed to defy the passage of time. Some claimed to hear the muffled murmur of prayers, the soft intonations of a priest conducting a solitary mass, echoing through the empty halls. There were sightings of a tall, gaunt figure, robed in clerical garb, moving silently through the shadows. His face, obscured by darkness, bore an expression of melancholic peace, as if he were caught between two worlds. One chilling account came from Elsie, the daughter of the local blacksmith, a young woman known for her level-headedness and courage. Known for her level-headedness, Elsie couldn't deny the events that unfolded one moonless night, a night that would change her life forever. A strange compulsion drew her toward the chapel, a sense of foreboding mingling with curiosity, as if an unseen force was guiding her steps. As she approached, Elsie noticed a faint light emanating from within, a light that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. Hesitantly, she peered into the darkened interior, her heart pounding in her chest, each beat echoing in the silence. There, bathed in an otherworldly glow, stood the spectral silhouette of Father Thomas, his presence both ethereal and haunting. His skeletal hands moved in practiced gestures as he conducted a silent mass, a ritual that seemed to transcend time and space. Elsie stood frozen, her breath caught in her throat, unable to move or speak, as if she were under a spell. Then, as quickly as it had appeared, the light flickered and died, plunging the interior into darkness, leaving Elsie in a state of shock. The phantom priest vanished, leaving Elsie alone with the chilling realization that she had just peered beyond the veil of death itself, a moment that would haunt her forever. Our next journey takes us to the windswept coast of France, where the ocean waves crash relentlessly against the rocky shore, creating a symphony of nature's raw power. Here, amidst the rugged beauty, lie the ruins of l'Abbaye de la Tristesse, the Abbey of Sadness, a place steeped in history and sorrow. It's within these crumbling walls that the tormented spirit of Sister Cécile, the weeping nun, is said to wander, her presence a haunting reminder of a tragic past. The abbey, even in its prime, held an air of melancholy, a sombre atmosphere that seemed to seep into the very stones. Sister Cécile, known for her unwavering faith and gentle heart, was beloved by all who knew her. Her kindness and dedication to her fellow sisters and the community were unparalleled. One stormy night, a fire erupted within the abbey, its flames fueled by the fierce winds and the dry ancient timbers. Most of the nuns managed to escape the inferno, but Sister Cécile stayed behind, risking her own life to help evacuate the sick and elderly who could not flee on their own. Trapped within the burning abbey, Sister Cécile met her fate with grace and courage, her final moments a testament to her selflessness and bravery. In the aftermath, the abbey lay in ruins, a charred and desolate reminder of the tragedy that had unfolded. The surviving nuns, heartbroken and unable to bear the painful memories, abandoned the abbey, leaving it to the ravages of time and the elements. Whispers began to circulate amongst the locals of hearing mournful sobs emanating from the ruined abbey, a sound that sent shivers down the spines of those who heard it. These cries were most prominent on stormy nights, when the wind howled through the ruins and the lightning illuminated the desolate landscape. Then came the sightings of a spectral figure robed in tattered nun's habits, her form barely visible in the dim light, yet unmistakably present. Those brave enough to venture near the abbey at night spoke of a bone-chilling cold that seemed to emanate from the very ground, a cold that pierced through to the soul. Fishermen, who often worked the treacherous waters near the abbey, reported seeing a lone figure standing on the cliff's edge, her silhouette stark against the stormy sky. One fisherman, Jean-Pierre, claimed to have had a close encounter with the weeping nun, an experience that would haunt him for the rest of his days. Caught in a sudden squall, Jean-Pierre sought shelter in the lee of the cliffs, hoping to wait out the storm. As he huddled beneath the stone archway, he heard the unmistakable sound of a woman weeping, a sound so filled with sorrow that it seemed to echo through the very rocks. Raising his lantern, he saw the ghostly figure of Sister Cecile standing just a few feet away, her form illuminated by the flickering light. Tears streamed down her face, leaving shimmering trails of spectral light that seemed to hang in the air. Just as suddenly as she had appeared, the weeping nun vanished, leaving Jean-Pierre alone in the darkness. Jean-Pierre, shaken to his core and filled with a terror he could not explain, fled the abbey, vowing never to return to that haunted place. Chapter 3. The Shadowy Choir. Our final tale takes us to Tuscany, Italy, to the ruins of La Chiesa di Angeli Perduti, the Church of Lost Angels. This ancient structure, now a mere shadow of its former glory, stands as a testament to a time long past, where faith and music intertwined to create something truly magical. It's here that the ethereal voices of the shadowy choir are said to echo through the night. These ghostly melodies have been the subject of countless local legends, whispered among the townsfolk for generations. The church, in its heyday, was a hub of activity, its sanctuary filled with the voices of the renowned choir. People from all over the region would gather to hear the choir's heavenly harmonies, their voices lifting spirits and bringing solace to many. Led by Maestro Lorenzo, the choir was renowned for their heavenly voices. Lorenzo, a passionate and dedicated conductor, had a unique ability to bring out the best in his singers, creating performances that were nothing short of divine. One evening, a massive earthquake shook the region. The ground trembled violently, and the once sturdy walls of the church began to crack and crumble. The church collapsed, trapping the choir and Maestro Lorenzo within. The townspeople rushed to the scene, desperate to save their beloved choir, but the destruction was too great. Rescue efforts proved futile, and the church fell silent. The once vibrant sanctuary was now a graveyard of memories, its silence a stark contrast to the joyous music that once filled its halls. Stories began to surface of hearing faint music emanating from within the rubble. These tales spoke of ghostly harmonies that seemed to rise from the very stones of the ruined church. These spectral melodies, always heard at night, seemed to drift on the wind. The haunting tunes would carry through the village, sending shivers down the spines of those who heard them. One witness, Sophia, a young artist, was drawn to the melancholic beauty of the ruined church. She had heard the stories and felt a strange compulsion to visit the site, hoping to capture its eerie essence in her art. As dusk settled, Sophia began to hear a faint melody. The soft, mournful note seemed to call to her, pulling her closer to the heart of the ruins. The music grew louder, resolving into distinct voices singing in mournful harmony. Each note was filled with a deep sense of longing and sorrow, as if the spirits of the choir were reaching out from beyond the grave. Sophia realized she was hearing the legendary shadowy choir. The voices were unmistakable, their harmonies as beautiful and haunting as the stories had described. Moving amidst the shadows, she saw faint, translucent figures resembling a choir. These ghostly apparitions seemed to be lost in their eternal performance, unaware of the passage of time. Their voices seemed to emanate from these spectral figures. The sound was otherworldly, a chilling reminder of the tragedy that had befallen them. Sophia watched in awe and terror as the shadowy choir continued their spectral performance. She felt a mix of fear and fascination, unable to tear her eyes away from the ghostly spectacle. Then, as suddenly as they had begun, the voices faded, the ghostly figures dissolving into the shadows. The silence that followed was almost deafening, a stark reminder of the fleeting nature of their presence. Shaken but moved, Sophia fled, the haunting melodies forever etched in her memory. She would never forget the night she encountered the shadowy choir, their mournful harmonies a haunting echo of a time long past. The chill of these abandoned chapels, the weight of their sorrow, it lingers, doesn't it? But remember, these are more than just stories. They are glimpses into the unsettling reality that some souls never find peace. If you found yourself captivated by tonight's journey into the darkness, be sure to show your support by liking this video and leaving a comment below. Let us know which tale of spectral horror sent the most shivers down your spine. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next descent into the terrifying unknown.